Hi everyone! Wanted to make a quick video on how I make my zero waste J-feeder modification, J-feeder thing. So here's one I just did. I just did this video, but it was in portrait style. I'm like, I should probably remake this video in landscaping. So I have enough materials right now to do one more, so I'll just show you another one. So this is essentially how it's going to look at the very end. It's got, I don't know if you can see it from this angle, it's got food reducer and a cover. So you kind of need both of those things to truly make this J feeder zero waste. And by zero waste, let me take you over here. So I have this exact setup right here for my grow out cage. You can see it's got the 3 holes. It has zero waste of the food. Now this mod is very easy. It just uses cardboard and tape. So, let me see here. First time I'm trying to do an angle like this, so we'll see if it works out. So first we start with the reducer. That has to happen first. You're going to want to use the cardboard that comes from cereal boxes. So it's the really thin, non-corrugated type of cardboard. I don't eat cereal, but I eat chocolate-covered bananas, and that's what most of these are. Popsicle boxes, any type of, really thin cardboard box that you get from the store. So first you do a reducer to reduce the feed. You can see this one's a popsicle box. So you basically just get a piece of cardboard and cut it to about that size. I liked having it have a flange so that I can tape the side walls on the inside. So the side wall is taped and then the top is taped. The bottom is free and open, which is actually perfect. I didn't plan on this because first I just wanted to do this reducer and see if that worked. And it helped. But they still wasted food because they could still get in here and kick the food around. And then it would just keep piling out. And then once it was up to here, they could do what they wanted with it. Once it was completely full, they could just do what they wanted. Which was kick it out and claw in it and all that stuff. So, I saw some more YouTube videos and I saw this little cover that you can make out of cardboard and put on here. And they did it a little differently because they didn't do it with the reducer. They just did the cover. And very similar, but I found that with both things, the quails can get food. You're not wasting like any food, and it's great. It's great for the babies that are growing up. I put those chicks in the cage you just saw when they were about a week ago. They were 2 weeks old, and so I have it a little bit lower for the grow outs. I don't have it as high as I do for like the egg layers because the egg layers were fully mature. But since they were younger and they needed, more space, I put it down lower. And it's worked out fine. But anyway, so I have this piece of cardboard here. So I'm going to show you how I can turn this, part of a banana popsicle box into the cover. So what I am going to do with this is, I like this flange here. Okay, so this flange is going to basically hook under the metal, but before the cardboard. So I know that if I cut these little wings off, it'll be fine. So I'm going to go cut those off. Cut this wing off. Okay, that out of the way. And then I like to cut it like this just so it feeds in there easier. And then we can check that. So basically check the fit of that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just needs to basically go in. No, it's not going to do it. Okay. It's doing a little hard because I didn't cut this flap down yet. But so it's going to go in there. Okay. So I know this flap is about the size I need for it to actually finish filling this out. So I'm just going to snip this off right here. And then I'm going to make this flap about the same, which is just the other side of the glue line. Okay, so now you should be able to see this a little easier. Okay, so it goes up in there. See how that covers? It's actually, I cut it to the perfect fit. It covers the whole thing. And this comes out past the J feeder a bit. So what I want to do in this, you don't have to do this. I found that it makes it with a little bit more tension. It helps the cardboard stand up a little bit better. But what I do is I actually then, with it in here, so I know the size, I fold it down around that lip. It's not going to stay on the outside. You just kind of need that for where it needs to fold. So we're going to crease that real good. You don't need all of it, so I'm going to cut it off about halfway there. You just need that extra for when you're folding it. So we're going to cut this extra off. And you'll see why in a second. So the next step, So the next step, what we got to do is actually put our holes in here so that they can actually eat from the cover. So what I do is I have this Arizona bottle. It's a 34-ounce Arizona tea bottle. I don't know why I saved it, but I'm glad I did, because this cap is the perfect size for quail heads. Just trying to see, do I have a ruler anywhere? I can see exactly what the size is. Give me a second, I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so let's see here. So this is exactly 1.5 inches diameter. Let's go from 2 to the 3, that's 1, plus another half, so that's 1.5. So it's the perfect size for the quail heads to go in. And so what I do is I kind of lay out, I know that these flanges go all the way to the edge of my feed area. So my first one I'm going to have over there, the second one I'm going to have about over there, and the third one in the middle here. So remember, this is going to hit that metal flange, this one right here. So you don't want to go all the way to the edge here, because then that's going to be metal there and you're basically losing part of your hole. And you don't want to do that. So you kind of want to be in the middle here between the crease and the crease you made. So just, you know, vertically centered. Then I'm just using a Sharpie. Do the other side, then I know where I need to go in the middle. Okay, and then right in the middle of those two. So this gives it a little bit of space in between the holes for 3 birds to actually eat at once. And I have seen 3 birds eat at once, because I had it spaced out appropriately for them. And then just take whatever razor blade that you have. I do not suggest scissors, because if you do scissors, you're going to have to bend this, and then it's going to lose the structural integrity of the cardboard. So just however you know, they don't have to be exactly circular. My blade is a little dull, so I'm going to have to cut it on the other side too. Like I said, I'm in the process of moving. I don't know where my good razor blade is with my brand new blades. They're somewhere. So I'm just going to cut all of them out on this side first, and then I'm going to flip it over, cut the other side of the cardboard. But usually with a nice sharp razor, you should be able to do this in one pass. If you want to be careful, do it in 2 passes. Okay, it's through. So they don't have to be completely circular, but it's good to be as circular as you can, just so that the birds are comfortable putting their whole head in there and they're not, you know, it doesn't pinch them or hurt them at all. So that's on one side, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but you can kind of see the indentations. So you just use that as a guide, and you just cut through that last layer. It's the shiny, it's the print, it's the ink that it has a hard time getting through. So if you have plain, super plain cardboard like this, you might not need to cut through it like this. But see, holes out. Out. And this is a great hack because I've seen a couple of other hacks where you have to, you know, drill into your J feeder and, you know, put wire through it, and it's supposed to reduce the feed. I just find that that just wasn't going to work for me because I don't have a proper workshop set up yet to do all of that finagling. But I do have a countertop, and I've got cardboard and tape. So, let's see here. Using the other food thing for things you can see. So, we have this, bend this a little bit, make sure it can go in. So, you're just going to shove that up inside there, as far as it goes, and then it looks like this isn't going to fit. So, we're going to fold this under, and that pops right there. This one's a little off. It should be fine. Yeah, maybe not. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so now you have the cardboard cover in here. Now what I do from here is I just take some tape and just found this out with the last one I did. I do a little slit in the tape. Put that there. That way I can go on each side of that circle, and you're not losing any bit of the circle. There we go. Doesn't have to be a big piece of tape. And what's great about this is that, you know, if this gets too dirty with poop or something like that, it's real easy to just take it off the tape and just make another one. You don't have to worry about a lot of things. This is just real simple. Kids can do this if they're doing quail as, you know, their homesteading animal. I like to do one at the back as well, just because sometimes they like stepping on it. When they get older, they don't really step on it, but when they're younger, they do. That's not very secure. I don't know how well this is capturing it, but you kind of want it to get it as low down as possible. There we go. You want to get it as low as possible with as much contact as possible, just because you don't want their little talons to come in here and, you know, rip it, because then what would be the point? On my other one, I made the holes a little bit further to the front, and so I just put one big piece on the back, which you can probably do that too. Just with this camera angle, it's hard to try and do that, but, you know, put a bigger piece all the way down in there. Try to do that. Something like that. But yeah, just make sure it's nice and stuck on that cardboard, and then yeah, the other one I got it down a little further. Like this one, I got it all the way down into that corner there. Maybe because it was thinner. Maybe that's what the trick is. A little bit thinner. But yeah, just on the cardboard there, put it all the way down into that crease. and that way you've got the most. Like this one, I have it to where there's room and there's air in between. They can probably snap that with their little talons if they get up there. I find the adults don't go on top of these like at all. It's just the babies when they're young and they're curious and they're roving about the place. And, you know, they're jumping on everything. It's so funny when they learn how to jump, because then they're like popcorn. Once one starts jumping, they all start jumping. Okay. This isn't a very good part of the tutorial. Sorry, everyone. But I think you get the gist. I use the scissors to cut a cleaner one, maybe. Okay. That one went a little bit better. Yeah. Okay. But that is how it works. And then let me show you it with some food. Let me go grab some food. I'm going to replace one of my grown-up ones. One of my laying cages doesn't have the cover because I was doing an experiment to see if I really needed it. It really does help. So I'm going to replace that with this and modify that one now. Oh, this angle is not good for scooping food. So I will get the bigger scoop to make it easier. Okay. I still spill it. Yeah, it should be enough food to see. So as you can see, some food gets in there, but it doesn't fill all the way up. And then when they peck, it'll be just that little bit that comes out. Be just that little bit that comes out. And it'll keep going. And they shake the cage, they're walking and stuff, it'll shake out. And it's just enough food to where there's a little layer of it at the bottom, and they're not filling this whole thing up with food, and then they're able to dig in it and shake their head and all the stuff quail do to, you know, get that one crumble all the way in the back, because that one's so much better than the one in front of them. Silly birds. But yeah, I have found that this really helps. The reducer and the cover together. This video's probably longer than I thought it was going to be, but it's what I found to help and work, and it's cheap and easy, and if it helps anyone out there, you know, new to quail, old to quail, different thought, then I hope it helps someone. Well, that's it for today. Signing off. Y'all have a good weekend.